Nadal. I am a filmmaker and director. This is the podcast that gives young people a voice to talk about deeper issues, life, relationships, experiences, life ambitions, etc. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for taking your time to be here. I really appreciate it. I got with me today my guest, Chuter. She's a filmmaker and graduate in television. I would like to talk about how hard is it getting into film and TV industry with a disability. Bit about me, it has always been the passion to become a director since I was about 14, 15. For me personally, I feel like it's very hard to get into film industry because there isn't enough resources and access for a person with a disability to make it more inclusive. And what do you think about it?
I think it's definitely harder to get in. I also think that a lot of the entry roles, it's physical, like runner roles, you have to be on your feet all day, location marshalling, you have to be on your feet all day. And I think I think it's a lot harder if you've got a physical disability to then have those entry level jobs because you cannot do the amount of hours that they sort of need you or require or want you to do. And I think it's really hard to then get entry level positions where it's accessible for people.
Would you think that work experience goes a long way helping you get a job in TV and film productions?
Yeah, I definitely think having contacts, whether that's from work experience or just knowing people, I think that definitely has a big impact because I think if you have done the job and they like you, then they will recommend you and they know that you can get the job done. But I think if you haven't had that and you're just trying to apply for jobs, people can be really sometimes wary if you do say that you've got disability, because then they may think they can't do the job. Whereas if you've shown to someone that you can do the job, I think it gives you a lot more way in.
And what's the process did you make to get into the film industry?
I went to university, so I've just graduated from Falmouth University doing a TV course. So that was my first experience sort of in knowing what TV industry was sort of like in a way, and then what I wanted to do. So at the moment, it's just a case of trying to look for jobs which can come with harder sort of looking if you have got a disability.
And would you say networking with people within the industry helps you go as far as well?
Yeah, I do think if you know people in the industry, it definitely helps to gain more experience and to gain experience on other projects. Whereas I think if maybe you don't know people, it's harder to look for the jobs and to know where to look for the jobs and just to get the jobs.
Okay, so what you would change in the film industry to make it more inclusive for disabled people like yourself?
I think there should definitely be more roles that are entry level that are more accessible. So even if that's more, say, office runner jobs, which are more available to people who may not be able to be in sets for longer days, because office runner jobs may be a bit easier when it's like inside in the warmth for some people. I know the warmth and cold can affect some people. And I think there needs to be more support for people who do have disabilities in the industry. I think there isn't much support in how you can get into the industry if you do have a disability. I think it can be very overwhelming for people who do have a disability to then try and get into the industry. And also, I just think people need to be more aware that people with disabilities can do the job and that they can do the job just as well. They may just need more requirements, or some may just need to be having breaks, say more breaks than some people. And I think that's a big thing. People need to be more open-minded, that yes, who they hire can still do the job perfectly. They just may need more requirements. And I think that's a big part, that some people aren't as open-minded.
So moving on. What's something that people often misunderstand about you?
I think because I don't have, like, my disabilities are sort of invisible disabilities. Like, you wouldn't know that I am hard of hearing unless I wore my hearing aids, which I don't always do. I don't think you would know that I have a physical disability if you look at me, because you can't tell. So I think that's a big thing, that people don't understand, that there are invisible disabilities and that you can, like, all disabilities will look differently. And I think that's the biggest misconception that some people have. And I also think age is a big part of it. I think depending on your disability, people don't think that younger people can have certain disabilities. Like, if you have hearing aids, they're normally, people normally think that they're to do with older people. And I think it's such, I think it makes people who are younger who have disabilities a lot harder for their voices to be heard, because people don't always necessarily think that younger people can have disabilities.
What support systems could be created to better assist people with disabilities like yours?
I think maybe having a mentor, so to speak, who has got similar disabilities and they are in, say, a similar work environment that you want to do. I think just having that one-to-one sort of, even just monthly catch-ups or talking with other people. I think talking to other people who are similar or who have different disabilities, I think that really helps, because you feel like you're not alone and that other people are going through the same thing. And I think sometimes it can feel a bit isolating if you're the only one who you know has that disability or has a disability. And I think talking to other people, that really helps.
Before we leave, anything you would like to promote?
No.
I saw something about you directing a film or something.
Yeah, for my third year graduate project, we each got to choose as chosen specialism to do. And so I chose directing, which I had done a little bit of at uni, but it's what I really enjoyed to do and just wanted to do it. So I then I then directed my graduate film, which is like 10 minutes long. So yeah.
I get you. Nice to speak to you.
Nice to speak to you too. Thank you.